scoured the internet to bring you the ultimate in life hacks, bonkers inventions, and crazy contraptions designed to make your life easier, more exciting, and definitely more fun. And we've summoned a team of experts with science brains and funny bones to explain everything. From the ridiculous to the sublime. And make sure you strap in for the grand finale at our very own Hack HQ, where we create and construct an epic stunt, our very own super-sized solutions to life's problems, big and small, with the help of Mike Sansom, pyrotechnician, chemist and engineer, and his human guinea pigs, Marcus Bronzy and Stephen Grant. For now, sit back, relax and put your feet up. Let us do the hard work so you don't have to. This is how hacks work. This episode is all about extreme gardening. Yes, forget your mini trowels and put down those watering cans, because we're here to seriously pimp up and hack down your backyard behaviour.
If I put half the amount of effort that squirrel puts into getting those nuts into my own life, I would be happy and successful.
From insane sprinklers to dealing with ninja squirrels, and a Formula One way of making lawn mowing far more fun. And in our epic hack, Mike will be painting the town and everything else red, blue and yellow in his amazing extreme Pimp Your Garden Shed Challenge.
I could paint hundreds of sheds in a day.
I'm going to give it to you. This was an epic hack.
First up though, what's better than one leaf blower to get your garden looking sharp? That's right, 3 of them, attached to a go-kart. This genius dad discovered that he can keep his kids entertained and get one of the more boring gardening chores done in one fell swoop. And all he had to do was build a go-kart and attach 3 huge leaf blowers to it. Kids love it because it looks like a real-life Mario Kart, and adults love it because it looks like a real-life Mario Kart.
I was a bit unimpressed with that one. When he was building it, I thought that the leaf blowers were going to propel the vehicle, and the fact that it was just rolling downhill and they were just blowing what seemed like very few leaves out of the way, I thought was a little bit of a disappointment.
When you're buying a leaf blower, you're basically looking for 2 different things. There's the velocity, or the speed the air travels out, and there's also the volume of air. You're looking at how far your leaves are going to blow versus how many leaves you're going to blow.
I thought it was going to be a go-kart powered by leaf blowers, but actually that would be incredibly hard to do. Because if you work out the amount of force that each one of those leaf blowers exerts, it could probably accelerate that thing by maybe 1 kilometre an hour per second, and that's if there was no friction.
Luckily, this one accelerates at far more than 1 kilometre per hour, and it works like a dream. This is a leaf-busting hack. Hit! We're only one hack into our extreme gardening episode, and it's already time to address the most dreaded gardening task ever, lawn mowing. So watch this next video if you want to try a hands-off option. Hammer a stake exactly in the middle of your garden, then tie your lawnmower to it like some kind of weird mechanical dog. Then all you have to do is fire your mower up and marvel as it mows the lawn all by itself. This hack makes sure the only thing running around in circles when it comes to garden chores is the equipment.
I don't think anything says creepy neighbour you don't want to let your kids around more than crop circles, especially homemade ones.
I suppose if it's a square lawn, it's never going to get the corners because it's only going to go as far as the width of that, so you're going to have to do the corners separately. But I suppose it's only the corners you've got to do. You get the kids to do that.
Looking after your lawn is really important. Now, lawns are actually very, very efficient at producing oxygen, about 3 times more efficient than trees, so it's good to keep it intact.
The trouble with lawns is that they're much less ecologically diverse than something like trees, so I wouldn't recommend that everyone goes around, chopping down trees or removing plant borders to put lawns in. And actually, they're a lot higher maintenance than a border of plants as well, because you have to mow them all the time. And that's why this hack's even needed.
Ooh, the scientists disagree. Controversial. This mowing tip may look revolutionary, but there's no cutting corners when it comes to keeping that lawn looking trim. The jury's out on this one. If you're one of the millions of people who had a treehouse in your garden when you were younger, this homemade bicycle elevator will bring out the big kid in you. You'll want to hold onto those handlebars tight though, because if you fall off this bike, it'll be a bit more than a scraped knee that you'll be worrying about.
This is quite a slow elevator. The fastest one you'll find at Shanghai Tower in China, and that's 20.5 meters per second.
Yeah, but does the Shanghai Tower have a squirrel nest in the top of it? Don't think so.
I understand what he's done. I understand that he's built a treehouse and then built a lift up to his treehouse. What I don't understand is why.
To get into the treehouse, that one's easy.
The key thing you need for a lift is a counterweight, and that's because dragging things up requires a huge amount of force.
Has anyone considered the fact that treehouses don't really need elevators? I thought the whole idea was to climb up them. No? All right, I'll go with it.
When he's cycling his cycle upwards, that counterweight is dropping down to the floor. So when this person wants to get down from their treehouse again, it means that they can easily and smoothly descend because the counterweight is being lifted up and that absorbs some of his energy.
The counterweight may make this guy look hardcore when it comes to weightlifting, but to look even more macho, a pulley could be your secret weapon. A pulley is simply a wheel attached to the ceiling with some rope slung through it. You pull down with the same force as the weight is attached to, and hey presto, the weight goes up. The problem is, with a big weight, you need big muscles. But thanks to the magic of a pulley system, by just adding another wheel into the mix, the ceiling takes the weight and you can halve the amount of force you need to lift that object. 4 wheels means only a quarter of the force, as the ceiling is now taking 3/4 of the weight. Enough wheels and a big enough ceiling, and one man could lift a whale, as long as he has enough rope, that is.
Lifts are actually 22 times safer than escalators to ride in. I think we've all had the nightmare where we're stuck in a lift, but this really rarely happens, and always people get out safe.
Finally, someone has come up with a way to climb any treehouse in style, with this worthy successor to the humble ladder. This is a definite high-pedalling king of the garden hack hit! If you're a fan of grass maintenance, this next hack will be right up your garden path. Firstly, some absolutely breathtaking acting here. This guy's the Marlon Brando of low-budget online hack videos. Ah, an electric fan, a perfect partner for a hose pipe. If you're worried about electricity and water causing an accident, then don't. This guy has cable ties. It might be labour saving, but this hazardous hosepipe hack is a fan too far. A risky miss. Coming up at Hack HQ with the help of human guinea pig Stephen, Mike is going to show us how to use dynamite to get your extreme garden shed painting skills up to scratch. Yes, dynamite. You'll have to see it to believe it.
2, 1.
Ha! So far we've shown you a crazy grass watering invention, a labour-saving lawn mowing technique, and a lively leaf blowing hack that will keep the kids happy. But stay tuned as we teach you how to water your garden for next to nothing, and give you a perfect hack to keep your nuts safe from garden nibblers. Now, we've already seen one sprinkler hack, but this one doesn't involve tying an electrical appliance to a hose pipe, so maybe give it a go. Just prick a few holes into a used water bottle, put a hose in, make sure it's not going anywhere, then turn it on. Now sit back and relax, because you've made a complicated sprinkler to water your entire garden for the price of a bottle of water. And earn some serious bonus points for recycling. What heroes you all are.
The way that this works is because you're trying to get all that water that's coming through the hose pipe, and as it comes into the bottle, it's all got to be forced out through those tiny holes.
The area of the hose end is actually greater than the average area of all the little holes inside the water bottle. This means that the water pressure inside the bottle is quite high, which pushes the water out of the small holes at a high pressure, which causes the water to spurt out and water the garden. Water pressure works underwater because of the weight of the water above you pressing down. It's really that simple. It's all to do with the weight of the water.
What a way to keep your garden healthy. This is a money-saving hack. Hit! If you've got a really big garden, then firstly, lucky you! But you might want an extreme gardening hack to speed up the mowing process. Enter this guy.
As you can see on my lawn here, I have a ton of dandelions. I'm about to take care of them even though they're beautiful.
He's using 3 petrol-powered mowers to destroy thousands of beautiful, life-giving flowers and oxygen-generating grass. I bet he doesn't recycle either. But it's not just mowers that spell trouble for grass. Let's see how they deal with some more organic enemies. There's nothing quite like the smell of a freshly mown lawn, but the reason for this heavenly scent is actually pretty sinister. When a bug starts munching on your lawn, the grass needs to fight off these pesky attackers quickly. Its weapon of choice is a green leaf volatile, chemicals which the grass sends into the sky, which attracts those carnivorous insects that feed on the bugs eating the grass. Luckily for us, not only are GLVs a death sentence for pests, they also smell lovely. Win-win. So when we mow the grass, we're damaging leaves on an epic scale and get the equivalent epic scent. Plant warfare never smelled so sweet. Grass might have the upper hand with fighting against bugs, but it's no match for this extreme lawn mowing. A triple threat, grass hacking hack, hit! There's nothing more relaxing than watching some graceful birds gather round a feeder in your garden. That is, unless one of those pesky squirrels crashes the party. So here's a way to stop them poking their snouts in. By suspending the feeder on a string in between 3 converging bamboo canes, you make the bird feeder a nutty Fort Knox for the squirrel to try and bust in.
I don't want to be the kind of person that doesn't like squirrels, but I'm also the kind of person who doesn't like squirrels. I think they're really fast rats.
Andrea's right about the fast bit. Squirrels have been clocked at 24 kilometres per hour, while rats can only get up to about 13.
Squirrels love nuts because they're a protein-packed food with lots of fat in as well. This means that they contain a lot of energy and that'll keep a squirrel warm during the winter months.
If I put half the amount of effort that squirrel puts into getting those nuts into my own life, I would be happy and successful. So, I don't know, more power to the squirrel, to be honest with you.
In your defence, though, squirrels don't have to worry about paying rent, commuting, or coming up with amusing quips on a science show. It appears you really can't keep a good squirrel down, because this resourceful rodent ended up destroying the whole thing to get to its precious pearls of nutty goodness. This rodent repelling hack definitely works, but I think we need more power to the squirrels. Let them eat nuts. A mean miss. Now over to Hack HQ, where Mike is preparing an extreme hack to take the time and effort out of those essential gardening chores.
Okay, what's this then, Mike?
So today we've got our painting hack.
I thought we were doing gardening.
So did we, Stephen.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Be sure that you do, Mike.
Where's the paint? Because that doesn't look like painting. In fact, actually, that looks dangerous.
Well, yeah, this is a stick of dynamite.
Oh, look, Mike's trying to solve a problem with dynamite. Again.
OK, and how do we paint with that?
So I figured that using a stick of dynamite, a high explosive, will blast the paint apart, atomise it completely, getting a beautiful thin layer of paint all over our boards here. It's going to be perfect.
Boards, eh, Mike? I'm guessing that means you already blew up your regular garden fence panels, then?
So what's that, then?
What's this?
Yeah.
This is det cord. This is a booster to help the dynamite get going.
OK, and I'm assuming it's called det cord because the person who first came up with it didn't get as far as saying the word detonation.
It could well be, yeah.
OK, and is it dangerous?
Absolutely.
When isn't it?
Right, OK, you're on your own. I'm getting out of here.
Well, you did ask, Stephen. Oh, this all looks very high-tech. Yes, viewers, Mike is actually putting a stick of dynamite into a tin of paint. If you have got fence panels you want to paint like this, I think it's probably worth asking your neighbours if they want theirs done at the same time, because I reckon this may be a messy one.
Right, we're ready.
Right, we
Glasses
safe?
on, we are safe, yeah.
Good.
If you say so, Mike.
Right, 3, 2, 1.
Ha!
Oh! OK.
Didn't quite go to plan.
Hang on, does that mean there actually was a plan?
But it covered it well.
It did cover it well, yeah.
Did it really?
Let's go and have a look.
Yes. OK. All right, Mike. Let's assess what we're looking at here. The stand has gone. The paint lid is over there.
I think we've definitely learned that dynamite isn't the best directional painting aid on the planet. And I also think I could have told you that before the hack began.
Yep.
The paint pot, well, where's that?
Well, I found a little bit en route. There you go.
Oh, fabulous. There we go, a little memento. And the actual paint itself is...
Not on the boards/fence panels?
It's on some of it.
It's like, well, this is all about coverage, and, you know, it's not too bad. I mean, I covered the floor well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the purpose of this experiment was to paint your garden fence, though, Mike.
But don't worry, because I've been back at the workshop working hard on another mechanism, so come this way.
Something better than dynamite. I'm so excited. And for that, I mean frightened.
As am I, Stephen. As am I. We'll be back later for our epic hack, where Mike will finally reveal exactly where this is all going by using his upgraded garden mechanism to show how you get through garden maintenance extremely quickly. We've already seen a pedal-powered way to enter your garden treehouse in style, and an ingenious solution to keep garden rodents at bay. Still to come, we've got a great reason to get your lawnmower motor running by racing in it, and a way to get that garden barbecue stoked extremely quickly. Cutting down a huge tree may make you a green-fingered Superman, but turning it into a seesaw will definitely put the extreme into your garden.
I do feel like if we're talking life hacks, chopping down a mammoth tree just to make a small child's toy that they'll get sick of in 4 seconds isn't necessarily the best use of time or trees.
Andrea, did you see that thing? Who's going to get bored of that in 4 seconds? That's good for at least half an hour.
The science of seesaws is all about balancing people's weights. So you've got the pivot in the middle and 2 weights on either side that balance each other out. These 2 men seem to be extremely well balanced in terms of their weight. You can see that they both go down to the ground approximately the same amount, and the hinge is right in the middle of their seesaw.
I fail to see how a gigantic seesaw made out of a tree is not going to make it into a show about extreme gardening. No arguments on this one, a huge hack hit. Here's one for all you petrol heads out there, a way to turn that mundane weekend lawn mowing into a high-octane pulse racing extreme garden sport. After all, a lawnmower is just a speed racer that's lost its way in life. Although I'm not sure how tidy your garden would be after hosting a lawnmower race. This hack is great for people who want a very specific loop track of their garden cut multiple times. As entertainment goes, this is up there with the best way to spend the day. But as a hack for lawn mowing goes, it's a messy, motor-headed miss. Leaf blowers are a gardener's best friend, but not always for blowing leaves, as this next video shows. Your barbecue will be ready quicker than a falling leaf with this mega simple lighting hack.
The best way to see if your barbecue's at cooking temperature, if you don't have a thermometer, is to put your hand over the top. And if you can hold it there for a couple of seconds and that's it, then it's probably good to cook. Any longer than that, it's not quite at temperature. So what the leaf blower is doing here is adding lots of air which contains all the oxygen the fire needs to get going again. Another bonus of this is it's blowing off all the ash, which is coating those embers and stopping them getting oxygen. So this is a great hack in 2 ways.
But if you want to cook something thick and cook it a bit more slowly, then you need those coals to be less hot. And that's because if it's cooler, then the wavelength of the heat radiation, the infrared that's coming off those coals, is longer, and that means it can penetrate more deeply into the meat and cook it right to the middle.
If you want a brill grill, this bit of garden kit will blow you away. A hot hack hit. Over to Hack HQ. The countdown is over and the fuses are lit. There's no cannon too big, no dynamite too strong for Mike to handle. And with his trusty guinea pig Stephen, he'll try anything so that you don't have to. Earlier, Mike tested out an extreme painting solution to help keep your garden fence safe against the elements with some questionable results. But no garden is complete without a shed. And after a few tweaks at Hack HQ, he's going to step this painting hack up a notch by taking on the ultimate garden man cave. Hope you're wearing very old clothes, Stephen.
OK, so what's happening here?
Right, so this is our gardening hack.
What are we going to be doing with these sheds?
Painting them.
Oh, dynamite in paint. Suddenly we're painting a shed. Gardening hacks. Yeah, this now makes perfect sense. I can see how that's useful. How are we doing it?
Well, we're going to do it in a slightly different way.
OK.
We're going to have a race.
OK. Actually, I'm up for that, because you know what? I reckon I'd be as quick as you. I'm good with a brush. I've done a bit of fence painting. I've been... Oh, what is that, Mike?
Gotta respect his confidence after what this guinea pig has seen.
Oh, this is the thing that I've made.
Oh, dear. Now tell me about it.
Right. So, we've got a battery.
Yes.
An inverter.
Yes.
That creates 230 volts of electricity, which will then power this little pump here, which I got from one of those high-pressure jet wash hoses.
OK.
Yeah.
So how high pressure is it?
Well, it's about 3,000 PSI.
I put about 100 PSI into my bike wheels, and that's quite hard. 3,000 sounds a lot. How much is that?
It is a hell of a lot. I mean, think of 3,000 PSI as about 2,000 metres under the sea. That's how much pressure and force it's going to produce.
OK. And I'm guessing because I'm the guinea pig on the show, this is what I wear and I've got to do this?
No, I want to win the race.
Nice try, Stephen.
Oh, right, OK, so you're wearing it. Well, what do I get then?
You get this.
OK.
A couple of pots of paint.
And the world's smallest paintbrush.
Do you know what? For once, I'm happy with lo-fi. I'm more than happy to do this. Do you want to help with that?
I might need a hand to get it on my back, yeah.
Okay, let's give this a go.
Right. 3, 2, 1.
Introducing Mike's budget version of a Ghostbuster.
Oh, go on, 1, 2, 3, stand up.
OK, I'm good.
Marvellous. Here we go.
Stephen, you're not painting with watercolours. Hurry up! You know, this time I almost feel sorry for Stephen. Almost. Finished! I don't think this one was very close, to be honest.
What? Draw?
No way.
I had a nicer shade of paint?
This was an outright win.
All right. I'll give you that. It was incredible you did all of this in this amount of time. From a gardening perspective, this is
the ultimate epic hack for a garden. I could paint hundreds of sheds in a day.
I'm going to give it to you. This was an epic hack.
No arguments here. Right, we've hacked, chopped, sliced, blasted, and mowed our way through all the internet has to offer to make our garden activities extreme. Now you just need to get out there and test them out. See you next time.